What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the 10th album by American rock band Red Hot Chili Peppers based on this particular product. Based on this particular product, it's called I'm With You, and it came out in the summer of 2011. So within pitches amongst it here, as far as these presently happen, this took a sizable gap from like 2006 with the hit type appeals of Stadium Arcadium within pitch like that, which was a whopping double album. Now within the pitch, that was a double album, so they did take off a spell with some of the pitches, considering that they had been around from that particular point in 2006 all the way back to like the mid-80s, pitch like that, so some hit type appeals as far as saying, but the particular phrase, the aspect, some certain type of areas, this album has minor differential type tones amongst it. The former guitarist who was a staple amongst the band, John Frusciante, within pitches like that, left the band a couple hours before this album came out, and I don't think the shit that he might have possibly done for the band around this particular time was on this album. It wasn't. It's not a problem whatsoever. The new guitarist, the hit guitarist on this particular album is Josh Kling. The hit guitarist on this particular album is Josh Klinghoffer, as far as these particular album, which is a banging type of appeals. But the aspect, I question like the fair of what the reception kind of was around that particular time. There's disparate pitches. Some of these type of phrases happen also with Three Doors Down pitches like that, when the particular guitarist, I forget his name, but the guitarist who helped helm the song Kryptonite and Loser and some of those type ones from The Better Life and other hit type songs like another hit type songs like Here Without You from Away from the Sun, Sons to Pitches was not on albums by Three Doors Down from 2012 forward. So it's pitched like that, but the phrase, as far as saying some of these type aspects, also the same sort of fare that particularly happened with like Sepultura when particular Max Cavalera left. So it's pitched like that amongst those type phrases. But the aspect for us saying, now it's not within the aspect, but it's just kind of pitched that the sound is minorly type different from some of those type phrases. When you think of this mainstream within the aspect of the staples that they particularly got between like 99 and 2006, with like some of those type ones like particularly like Around the World and like By the Way and some of these type ones like that. Some of those aspect of kind of booming type ones like By the Way, the Zephyr song, particularly Can't Stop pitches like that, Danny California, some of those type ones, that just those traditional kind of summer staples. It's not to say this album doesn't have summer staples, but it just kind of feels more fleeting within these aspects. Now this album did at least last for a lengthy while within pitches like that, but I do question the fair about it. The most popular song off this album according to Spotify, a song that was a top 40 single in the Billboard 100, so it's definitely welcome getting Chili Peppers back in the fray as far as these pitches album when it happened in like the early 2010s. But the fair, as far as saying, I just question the commonplace like the fairs of how oftenly like the Adventures of Rain Dance Maggie kind of pops up on the radio pitch like that. It's kind of appeal when you think of like mainstream type appeals amongst Chili Peppers. It's kind of pitch, especially when you get to some of these type of folks like Eminem and like Mariah Carey and folks like that. Some of the pitches, it usually kind of goes with like, you know, probably like a couple hits from like the 90s, couple hits from the 2000s, couple hits from the 2010s, pitch like that. You would think this would, considering that Chili Peppers only dropped 2 albums in the 2010s, more or less, than pitch like that, you think some of these other ones would kind of have the fray, but it's kind of pitched as far as saying. You also have to throw in the factoid that they did have serious albums in the 80s as well. Some of those type of albums like Mother's Milk and further back type ones from like the 84, 85 type days, pitch like that. So it's a hit type appeal as far as saying with the pitch within some of these type fairs. It's kind of like folks like Snoop Dogg and Ozzy Osbourne pitch like that. They just have a multitude type of hits, but it's kind of afraid this is the transaction. It's kind of the transaction within some of the stuff phrase that just the pitch, it feels like within the recognition kind of it. It's not to say against Josh Klinghoffer and pitch like that, but it's the hit type feels as far as saying just questioning more of the complex, like the airplay that kind of goes along with some of these stuff ones. It may just have been that I just didn't recognize it because I didn't know the song is full bound compared to like Danny California pitch like that. But the hit type feels as far as saying some of these type pitches kind of the aspect of just like the rhythmic kind of distinction that goes along with the rote type factor, just those songs getting played the fuck out pitch like that. Probably back in 2011, 2012 more within that fashion was the pitch for us saying just question like the everyday type fray with that. Nowadays some of these type pitches, but it's just kind of fair, just that traditional type swing of some of those type pitches like that kind of has the aspect, this is a pretty stable type album. It's going to get a 10 out of 10 pitch like that, but it's very wayside, just not quite as sparky within like the pitch like the usual Fury that Chili Peppers. I mean, it has some of these type of songs in here, but it's just a more glared and kind of the momentum is kind of more dulled within the aspect, not so much in terms of like the cadence. The definitely This is more of a chummy type album, which is the pitch as far as saying that the product, usually when you think of Chili Peppers, you think of like these red hot kind of blistering summer fury type ones, but it feels like the Adventures of Rain Dance Maggie, the lead single of this product, kind of feels more like the second or third single that would probably be the energy type point of like, it just approaches it from like a bass guitar kind of foot tap type groove within pitch like that as far as saying within some of the pitches. And the aspect feels more of like a single that would have been like the second or third single on like a main spread type album from Chili Peppers back in like 2002 or like 95, some of the pitch like that. So it's fair as far as saying paying attention to like those phrase aspect just kind of within the tone. This album had a good enough type rollout, but still felt relatively more or less for Chili Peppers with some of the pitch. Now realizing that they had been around since the mid '80s, pitch like that is kind of afraid going 4 or 5 presidents back. Some of those type pitches in the United States, as far as saying presidents have runs for 4 years each, or sometimes 8 years if they get reelected, pitch like that. But the hit that phrase, as far as saying aspects, as far as saying just going back as far back with that particular phrase, but it's this kind of pitch as far as good blistering type album, but the pitch behind it is just the summer type fear. When you think of hit songs like Can't Stop and Danny California, pitch like that, it's just not. It's not to say it's not canned on here. The heat is just kind of more of like a kind of like. It's just more of a humid type album. That it's more of the humidity. This has more of the flair of the humidity that gets to you this time, more so than like the scalding kind of just blistering kind of sweltering hot typeness. It's just a differential type spell. It's kind of not as red hot. It's kind of more yellow hot as far as these first albums is pitch for saying some of those type ones, but it is very much a summer album. It's just kind of pitch for saying it's just not the candid kind of dynamo type one, like when you think of Give It Away and Suck My Kiss and some stuff ones like that, and like Around the World and some of those type ones like that, particular like Scar Tissue, some of those ones. But pitch for saying paying attention towards the hit type feels and the aspects for us the flair gonna have is banging type ness. Yeah, like I said, gets 10 out of 10 pitch like that. Recommend all 14 songs off here. It's just kind of a strange type spell. Some of this type pitch is paying attention like the predominant type factor. Things were kind of preoccupied with hit bands like Shine Down and some of these type pitches in 2011 pitch like that. Kind of Godsmack was kind of Godsmack was kind of a miss, dominating with like their hard rock type appeal with like the Oracle from 2010. That was still catching some steam within certain type senses. Other type fairs like particular is kind of not alternative metal. It's not as full bound in the spotlight. Other type bands like particular things like Hell Yeah was kind of doing pretty large around this time, and then particular fairs of like Hinder and some of those type ones like that. So it's kind of pitch for us saying paying attention to like the fray pitch like that. I think Nickelback had some good type spells that were happening around this time as well. So it's pitch for us saying they were kind of more hard rock type fairs. So it's just kind of a little bit louder type noise than pitch. Usually you would think that Chili Peppers would have fit right in with some of these type crowds than pitch. It is more kind of nachos and Wingstop type bar type places with a little bit more gallon and guffaw type noise than pitch like that. As far as this person goes, the pitch for saying paying attention towards it, just the more type kind of elbow grease type noise within the social kind of aspect, like the largeness, but it's just kind of fair as far as saying just kind of it's kind of more of a burrowed and mild sauce type album than pitch. And I'm not saying mild sauce in terms of like the album being weak, but just the fair, just not. They didn't really feel like throwing bows to the big dogs this time as far as these pairs. It's not say as if they didn't. It's just kind of pitch a particular phrase. It's hit type appeal as far as saying. So some of these hit type aspects, The Adventures of Rain Dance Magazine hitting type 1. This was the top 40 single on the Billboard 100, so big crossover type fair within pitch like that around that time. Also aspect hit number 1 on the rock charts, pitch like that. This is like a prompted and buzzing kind of primetime step out to get towards here. Just good nice foot tap fairs like that. Just have some beer in your system fairs like that. Get towards it definitely. Some barb shots going with Diva and Miss pitches like that as far as these first goes. This is the pitch of you're going to look like you just got out of a water park pitch like that. Sounds the price the pitch as far as saying just a particular product to just then the pitch as far as saying sounds the products within the aspect just talk in with sweat type products as far as saying just the aspect of to really get loud since the pitch within it just kind of afraid just talking about the craze type factor within the pitch. It is like consistent kind of Buffalo Wings the pitch like that. The average fashion shows could use you in their lineup pitch like that since it's tough right now. Within pitch, just the aspect some of it's tough right now. Within aspect, not going to like the actual distinguished type, but just the pitch as far as just kind of fair. They should make average call it. They should make average kind of cosmopolitan magazines just for you pitch like that. But just the phrase some stuff pitch, just kind of loud type pack within the fair. in the sense of California type noise, pitch like that, getting towards some of these type places like Red Robin and pitch like that, sense type, more muscle bound type noise maker type places, pitch like that, where it's going to be like the social commotion. It's just kind of an entry type one within pitch like that, not the full bound gallon not the full bound kind of gallon energy that Chili Peppers normally not the full bound kind of gallon energy noise type fair that Chili Peppers is normally known for, pitch like that within a hit type phrase for saying something that pitches amongst getting towards like the product just more or less kind of more facilitated kind of aspects of just getting towards the product, like some this buzzing, just the initial type conduct of it, pitch like that hit type phrase. Monarchy of Roses, a hitting type one. Now, this is kind of a strange type one, kind of has like some static and kind of radio satellite has like some radio kind of static type noise amongst the pitch like that. It's like a jostled traffic and scattered kind of everyday fare to kind of get towards here. Just biscuits, fares like that. It's kind of some gulag type fashion kind of pitch I like. It switched to like a pretty good disco-esque kind of foot tap later on with some nice type pitches, but just the progress of some half of like the verse and like the two verses of the song in the beginning kind of have that particular fare. Just the transaction kind of feels like Beastie Boys type fare with some of those type ones, like radio transmission type ones. More like intergalactic type fare from 98 pitch like that, sounds the fare. Just the product like some traffic type, just noise of this hot stretching day pitch like that. Just grab like some salon care for Ma and pitch like that, hit that phrase. It's out in the fray with particular products amongst it. Just good nice traffic type Galvent target type runs with the more kind of California West Coast kind of just golden type sense pitch like that. Appreciating like the traffic big city type fair pitch like that, the standard strip type noise, look rounds the hitting type ones, like an excellent kind of disco rock and foot tap to get towards here. Just tortillas, venue escape, I definitely say good chatter kind of get out your system fairs like that. Just some loud maiming getting towards this connect with pals pitch like that. Now you would think this is normally the fair where that particular like long-winded kind of Chili Pepper song would kind of come out pitch like that, one of those type ones that would be like Give It Away and Suck My Kiss, and particular phrase like the staple like Danny California pitch like that, but it's kind of the fray. They kind of went with the more common kind of foot tap type one, just a basic kind of just minimalist type fair pitch like that. Not to say minimalist, but just the pitch of this, the approach of just a little bit more. They chose a little bit more lateral approach for some of these type fairs this time, so it's kind of pitch. It's a solid enough type single, but it didn't really chart that heavily pitch like that, and the fourth single didn't chart at all, which is strange because usually Chili Peppers have a lot more charting type fare. But it's just a pitch for us, and just the product some of these type ones, it's kind of aspect. It works for like some good rhythmic type fare, definitely within pitch, but the commonness, the likelihood of hearing this sung within nowadays type fashion, usually this would be like the one where they pull out the full bound swing and some of the pitch, where it'd be like the one that's just like one of those type ones that gets like 800 million plays and a billion plays or so on Spotify pitch like that. But this is kind of the fair, this kind of aspect with some of these type varieties where I think some of these type aspects with the tone are just feeling like it's good Chili Peppers, but it just kind of feels like out of rhythm somewhat within some of the pitch. Now it's not a bad song, look around, it's a hit type song within these type pitches, but just surprising that they didn't have it's strange getting like a Chili Peppers album that doesn't have like 2 or 3 number ones on like the rock charts from it as far as this pitch goes, but it is the phrase for us saying that they have been around since the mid 80s pitch like that. But it's just the hit type appeal, questioning the fair as to why there's really only one top 10 single in the rock charts from Chili Peppers with this particular album. It's just the phrase for us saying, but it is good nice disco rock pitch like that, some good night good nice kind of melded type noise that goes along with Adventures of Rain Dance Maggie with the pitch for us saying both these type ones are not like the banner kind of just so furious kind of stretching type energy that they usually kind of have. But pitch first into some good buzzing type ones kind of pitch as well. Same with this being more of kind of like a humid type album this time with good nice pitches. Brendan's Death Song is the 4th single pitch like that hit type phrase, like a good, it's like a solid kind of home clean and mellow kind of passage to get towards here. Just lemonade and gin, sometimes the Ferris Monks is just standard kind of standard smoke room type noise. Have like tea in like a rec room, so have like tea and fairs like that, tea and smokes like a rec room and a smoke room, so nice to pitch amongst it. The standard, sunroom's what I meant, definitely sunroom type fair. The standard lemonade with mist and fam pitch like that, so nice hit that phrase, get some lace chips in your system, cook some teas, make some teas for said gal, something to take the edge off pitch like that. So this being quaint, affable, and reliable pitch like that, so nice phrase to just have the take the edge off type factor, just kind of ease like some of these type fairs, just nice coziness pitch like that, kind of like the Zephyr song, but it's not quite as motion within the sense of pitch. It's kind of fair, just more homestead type polish pitch like that. Some sort of late step approach, kind of like with the aspect like a melded type one, like Under the Bridge, but just more like the Zephyr song actually pitched like that, and songs like Porcelain, as far as the specimen goes, good nice pitch amongst that. Chummy, but just more of like a homestead type pitch, more so than the full bound. It's just one of those type ones that just kind of like a more not quite as outing or as social as full bound, but just when the pitch it is more kind of newspaper, coffee, fairs like that. Good pitches, lemonade, but it's pitch for us and good hit top phrase. I recommend all 14 songs that's down. It's a 10 out of 10. To be able to say pitch like that. Good nice one off here that has some of the candid usual type energy of Chili Peppers is Goodbye Hooray as far as these physically goes. Like a perky and bopping kind of court miss and being harsh fairs like that. Definitely the pitch as far as saying Spicy Nachos get towards here pitch like that. This Widow Weed Sunset Bastards kind of get shit faced towards White Rhino Sunset pitch like that. This aspect really getting bliss hammered pretty nice. This is a sort of fear. This is kind of one that's a little bit nastier within the fray. Usually they're pretty candid. Usually when you think of some of this type ones, is this more within the gnarled type sense more than the usual type variety. Just the turn of like it would be like a song like Can't Stop. This is just one of those type ones where you're probably going to get shit faced to the point where you might have to vomit or something like that, but just pay attention like the limit of like fairs, pay attention gals limit, sense of pitch in your palace, sense of pitches, no drive, don't go drive drunk pitch like that, pay attention to that, but just the phrase, some of those type ones getting shit faced, sense of fairs amongst it, but yeah, hot type song. Good nice phrase. Annie Wants a Baby's the hitting type ones, like a good mud shovel and brunch hour kind of traffic to get towards here. Kind of like particular Brendan's Death song, but just a little bit more Missed Afraid. Just kind of like when you think of like the bass guitar type groove of mud shovel pitches like that, some of those type ones are just enjoying like a good balmy kind of Yellow Skies type morning pitches like that, relative 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock a.m. pitch like that, just some like some hit kind of mellow hash browns pitch like that, just some listen-ins with Diva pitch like that. So this is kind of some of these stuff phrases. If you do have to be awake, some of these stuff fairs or not so much within the horridness of not wanting to be awake at 11 o'clock, but just kind of more, it's more possibly scratchier, just the fair, just kind of the jostle kind of amongst it. A little bit of apprehend pitch like that, just get to the fair. We're going to get the goddamn donuts pitch like that, sends that phrase. Definitely getting the goddamn donuts as far as these press can happen, and continue to tell me about that story. You thought I wasn't paying attention towards pitch like that. This kind of pitch as far as saying just the aspect. You're just a nice lullaby person as well, pitch like that, but still let's hit that phrase. It's the aspects as far as those particular aspects can go. But yeah, mellow hash browns pitch like that is good, nice fair, all ears up, radar up, pitch like ears are up, pitch like that, hit that phrase. Ethiopia is a hitting type ones, like a sunny but dreary kind of on foot passage every day to get towards here. This corner store kind of big red pickups, big red gum and pork rinds type fare pitch like that. The standard kind of within the phrase, some of those corner store type runs, but this differential type fares, not just the usual kind of Doritos or Lay's type pickups pitch like that. Some of this extra type phrase, getting like a differential kind of gum maybe. Particular Diva could use like some big red pitch like that, switching up the phrase, some of these type jostle, but same sort of aspect to like the just hitting up corner stores, getting beers pitch like that, but just other type fares, secondary, tertiary type ones, or other type phrase. Standard chore to kind of throw in a bit of bills pay, sounds that pitch on top of that, just good nice fares. Definitely get some sunshine pitch like that, so just out in the fur within those particular fairs, just good kind of, but it's within the aspect, just not quite as candid within the usual type fare compared to hit songs like Suck My Kiss and some stuff ones like that, but just a good nice, good nice hit dredge pitch like that, but kind of some pep within those aspects, just kind of pitch it, just like, yep. Fuck with it, get some goodies going, pitch like that. Factory of Faith is a good nice one as well as like a rock solid kind of foot tap and bass guitar groove to get towards here, pitch like that. Goes with Rain Dance Maggie, definitely I'd have to say, just Fritos type runs, just good nice bops as far as these first this the standard type candidness pitch like that, so let's hit that phrase. It's kind of within the pitch of this aspects like works pretty good as like some venue type noise on top of that, good nice pitch kind of get towards the here, but it's just the aspect, yeah, hit type album cut pitch like that, so just the continued candidness of Chili Peppers being able to have like these particular bangs and pitch like that, but just kind of the neighborhood type jostles, so kind of in between the pitch of just aspects of like Pajama Cat kind of relish and pitch like that, but also within fray just out within like the town spread and pitch like that, some of these hit type peels. It's good nice noise, but yeah, this kind of usual glam type factor for RHCP as far as these first excellent type pitch amongst it. Happiness Loves Company is a hit type one. This is probably a good nice one. There are some nice hooks on here pitch like that. Some type ones like particular like like one of which Some good nice radio grabs like the album cuts and pitch like that. It's just the particular aspect within the tones part these pitches can have. The hit type appeal kind of has the aspect behind it, but some of these type ones like Did I Let You Know, Goodbye, Hooray, standard type pitches within the aspect. It's just kind of the tone. Like particular Happiness Loves Company is like a good nice one for like some radio kind of everyday. It's like a chummy kind of Queen style, kind of rainy everyday to get towards here. This radio glad. Definite good nice radio grab pitches like that. It's blasé but dealing as far as these person goes, and dealing with the dealing with the jury and the bullshit as far as these press campus within the pitch. Yeah, within the pitch, what I was saying with Sonny's the bad as far as paying attention. Like some of these type phrase, like they have some good nice hooks on here, but it's just kind of pitch. It's strange within the fair as to why some of these type ones just. It's not so much that these Chili Pepper songs don't have like the radio appeal. They definitely have the candidness, pretty profound pitch like that, but it's just kind of fair as far as saying it just didn't. I want to say it's not even the factoid that it didn't have the roteness factor. These are good, nice snap type ones. It's vanilla enough with things to pitch as far as like the fray kind of amongst it. It's kind of fair. It just didn't. You think of some of these type ones that have like some candid kind of radio type feel, like Happiness Loves Company, and like particular Did I Let You Know, Goodbye, Hooray, some stuff ones like that, and particular Annie Wants a Baby, some stuff ones, Factory of Faith, good pitch like that. It's just the hit type feel that it has like the candidness kind of on here, but it's just it. It's strange kind of seeing the fray of the reception for Red Hot Chili Peppers when they don't have like a hit song with like the capital typeness of Give It Away and like Californication and some stuff ones like that. It's not like they didn't have the candidness within the full band tone. It's just kind of pitch that the aspect is just the reception, just not having that particular anchor that's like the song of the summer pitch like that. It's just basically like getting a Chili Peppers album without the song of the summer type phrase pitch like that. It just did it. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10 album with some pitches. You can say Adventures of Rain Dance Maggie was kind of like that, but it didn't feel like a song of the summer is full bounce. It's a good, nice song, hit #1 of the rock charts, but not quite as ubiquitous as full bounce on those type pitches. Kind of fair. Just that basic phrase, just taking that particular factor like the usual type staple way. But the hit type feels, I mean, all of these are pretty catchy pitches like that, but it's just not. This doesn't feel as long spread this time. It's just kind of pitch. It is more. Just kind of more portable, and within the pitch, it just kind of. Didn't feel a stretching pitch like that, but hit type aspect still the definite quality's kind of on here. It's just underappreciated. It's kind of like particularly the Eminem Encore type album with it. Even though Encore lasted pretty long by Eminem, it's just kind of pitch some of those type fairs that has like the pitch, like stretching typeness, but for a mammoth type band like Chili Peppers, pitch like that doesn't feel as like within the full bound typeness like the on. A good, great, wild pitch like that, but hit type phrase. So within pitch, yeah, Happiness Loves Company pitch like that, chummy kind of Queen style, rainy everyday pitch like that. It's kind of fair, just one of those type ones. It's the aspect of like some of those type fairs that you listen to, just rainy kind of cars, rainy kind of car traffic type days, pitch like that. Some type fairs. Annoyed but getting towards as far as this first album section type pitches, police stations, the hitting type ones, like a nice alt rock kind of under the bridge type fair and like late evening type flavor. Definitely that same sort of variety, taking back to 1991 pitch like that. So that same sort of chummy typeness is catching up with pals kind of within the gripe type factor, paying attention to some of those type phrase, kind of like End Day Say by Nelly pitch like that. Some of those type ones that just paying attention. Kind of second-hand personal gripes as far as this first album, just paying attention like the phrase, just like particular folks just having to go. Standard ma or miss or particular fam sons type folks within pitch just coming through type factors. How can get a cold beer in your system? Definitely pitch like that. How can the fray be bright and sons type pitches? Now, not as if full bound being Captain Save a Hope and pitch like that, but just the hit type phrase as far as some of those stuff acid just kind of being perked and pitch like that. Just catch up. Definitely sons type pitches. You need like 50 kind of makeup kits pitch like that. Now, not to actually full bound going to spend that, but just the pitch as far as saying I can. Definitely telling miss in mind pitch like that. It doesn't take much to be able to tell that you're not doing well as far as these pitches happen. You look like, have you been living? Have you been brushing your teeth with Hennessy? Pitch like that. Some of the phrases kind of the aspect I can tell. It's probably what all your clothing smells like. Pitch like that, but just hit type phrase looking. What happened to the train that hit you? Pitch like that. Some type phrase, but the pitch first saying good nice phrase amongst it. Hit type phrase aspect. definitely catch up pitch like that. Some Porsche typeness kind of spill towards later pitch like that hit type phrase. Even you, Brutus, the hitting type ones like a fiery throwback to 2000s, kind of Maroon 5 and Franz Ferdinand. Some of those hit type songs like This Love, in particular, Take Me Out pitch like that. Just real throwback on a VH1 MTV type hot pitch like that. Probably feels like one of those type ones that would have been played on like that station back in 2003, 2005 pitch like that. Just a two-step type song, but kind of malaise with it as far as these pitches have a definite bop as far as those pitch kind of go. Definite good, nice gem as far as this pitch can have. This another good standout song is the pitch that has like that particular snap. So this album definitely had the snaps. It's kind of pitch that just felt like this album kind of went to like the back burner just 3 or 4 months later. Pitch like that. But hit type phrase, definite good, nice pitch. Some of those type pitches amongst the aspect. Another good gem. Maybe at the corners of hitting type one as well as like a towny and brooding kind of city square quaint to get towards here. Just muffins pick up for diva pitch like that. Eyeshadow sense of pitch like that. Just get the whole enchilada sense of affairs amongst this kind of pitch. Kind of a combo type tune with some of this kind of more gray skies chumminess type aspect with police station fairs like that. Definitely in the pitch for us saying just definitely going to need the whole enchilada sense of affairs. Like we're going to the Latin restaurant tonight as far as these pitch counts. So this kind of the product sense stuff fairs, but just the pitch alike. Paying attention. It's kind of an evolution of like 91 kind of Chili Peppers type fair pitch like that. Some stuff ones like the aspect, the particular tone of like it's social, but it's kind of melded. So it's just pitches to some of those type aspects. Not quite. It's not necessarily homestead, but it's just kind of the aspect of leftover kind of chip on your shoulder type phrase for the aspect. Just get the product of some good nice fairs, easy kind of aspect. Just come through with blueberry muffin pitch like that. Hit that phrase. This aspect, good nice fairs amongst it. This Bruce kind of wild pitch like that. Dance, dance, dance. The hitting type ones. Another kind of. It's another more melded type ones like a relish but quiet kind of dance floor noise. Get towards here. Just hollow. A hollow type phrase of around the world and pitch like that. Just why so serious sense to pitch amongst us. A hit type fairs of. It's kind of the pep of getting back on the right foot pitch like that. Sentence hit type phrase for the aspects going to happen. Just kind of pitch. Possibly if a pal of yours just got fired from a job, pitch like that. Sentence of phrase to just BS that it was the sentence to pitch it. Just now like. The after effect of probably like the fair like the Wednesday or Thursday following like the fair like if the previous week if you particularly hated like a Friday or Saturday some stuff pitches getting towards not just like the Monday kind of blase but with by the time it's Wednesday or Thursday like the following week some stuff pitches kind of being back in the fray. Like I'm gonna particular get some beers in my system fairs like that particular definitely standard galleon mind pitch like that. Fairs like why so serious? How's life? Sense the pitches aspect this particular hits. The smoke detectors in your home still work. Pitch like that. Sentence hit type phrase. But the aspect good hit type phrase like that. Pitch for. Or the pitch can happen. So hit type appeal within this album pitch like that. 10 out of 10 album social score. Now within the pitch first I would give the social score 10 out of 10 within the quality kind of it, but the casual type frame in terms of like the long term typeness and the replayability type factor might be more of like a 9.5 pitch like that. Consider now it's not to say actually it's full bound within pitch. Considering Chili Peppers is usually pretty massive and popular pitch like that. Every one of their albums does damage. It's a main spread kind of mainstream type deal. Was the pitch as far as saying it just felt like within the collect that this is kind of an album within more of those type pitches. They usually had the candid type energy off each of their ones pretty much up to 2006 and their 2016 one. They had to come back in 2016 pitch like that, but this is just one an oddball type one where it's just kind of pitched like a melded type era that's just it's not so much like a Bruce type album in terms of like the fray, but just in terms of like the collective like the spells that kind of happen around this time. It's nothing bad. It's not the guitarist. It's not because of Josh Klinghoffer pitch like that, but it's just kind of fray as far as saying just the aspect as far as saying that they just had like a hit type album within the pitch that just did not. They tried a Chili Peppers album without the pitch of having like a main spread kind of anchor that just lasts all summer and like the subsequent summer within like the pitch of just like the familiarity type vibes. It's just pitch. They did that just without the usual kind of stretchers. Just the pitch like the Adventures of Rain Dance. Maggie's pretty hitting, but just was not. Definitely banging type tune. Now within my opinion. Kind of saying in my opinion type fair pitch like that, but just the phrase part is like the collective, just like the usual type distinction we're referring back to. It's kind of pitch and just question the replayability of some of the fairs, but just some hit type appeals. just to say pitches like that, the album at least went gold, which is just to say within pitches, the album at least went gold, pitches like that, but that is pretty trite considering the usual mainstream type popularity, considering that the previous album went 4 times platinum and more kind of harsh selling album sales type times. So the pitch for the same, but that's just the product, particularly by the 2010s, that sort of product was starting to happen. If you weren't Adele or Bruno Mars, that was kind of what was particularly happening around that time in 2011. But it's the fair, just Chili Peppers trying some of those type phrases, the new marketplace, considering the tides that things had kind of shifted from like the mid 2000s to like the early 2010s. So it's just a fair of a different market, but they handled it well within pitches like that, but they just tried it without a normal main spread type anchor. But the pitch, the album is definitely good within pitch, but this was not. The only fair within those type pitches, this didn't have like the. This was not as stretching as far as those pitches, but accent type pitches, paying attention towards the hit type aspects and tones. The casual type score might get like a 9.5, but the social score would definitely get a 10 pitch like that. Some of these type ones, like a ton, some foot taps, just some good humid type songs pitch like that, some Aaron type runs pitch like that, some Porsche type phrases, connecting like city squares pitch like that, playing stuff places, smoke bars pitches like that. It makes you kind of blasé, catching up some of these type areas, just a round of get shit face type tunes, pitch like that, some breakfast brunch type tunes, some stuff aspects, and corner store type runs, pitch like that, playing these hit type feels, some sunroom type songs for chatter, pitch like that. This album definitely has the social commonplace amongst it, but it's just kind of within the fair disc. It's just not hard. It just does it not being as furious this time, so it's just more of a human type album, like. Just more of a humid type album, like I was saying, pitch like that. But hit type feels. So in terms of the future, Chili Peppers has not dropped albums since 2022, pitch like that. So some hit type feels. There's some further type ones I'm going to get towards. Going to start getting to some of those 80s type ones. The 1995 album, I pretty much covered everything by Chili Peppers now within these quick type phrases, despite the fact that I've only reviewed 4 of their projects. Their Stadium Arcadium, which I'm going to have to figure out how to tackle that one because that is a hit type album. The 2016 album, which had like some good comeback type phrase amongst it as well, and just the pitch for us and some of these other type ones and pitch like that. Going to get towards it, but this is definite classic easily.